this is Jordan, and we'll be doing a scene from I Never Sang for My Father.
From what? I never sang for my father.
I don't know how you feel, but I like to prepare a kind of memorial for Mother. Use some of the money she left.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe some sales of books for the children's library. Just books with stories you like to tell.
That's a good idea.
Well, Gene, what are we going to do?
Mother always said put her in an old people's home. She had one all picked out and everything.
Cindy's mother and father saw it coming and arranged to be in those cars home for old people.
Mother and dad.
I think you should go ahead and get married and move to California. But I might as well get this off my chest. It would be murder if he came to live with us. In the first place, he wouldn't do it, feeling as he does about Sid, and the kids can't stand how to tell him how to do everything.
I think you're right. It would never work. And I can't tell you what it does to me. As a man, to see someone like that, someone who was once so distinguished and remarkable, just become a nuisance.
I know I sound hard, but he had his life, and we can be each other to take care of it. Oh, I feel some guilt. And you, maybe more, but my responsibility is to my husband and my children.
Yes, that's your responsibility.
And your responsibility is to get married and get away from memories of Carol and our whole world. Can you call California?
No.
If I were the girl you were planning to marry and you didn't call me to tell me your mother had died,
I just haven't wanted to go into it over yet.
Gene, my friend, my brother, get out of here.
Listen, Alice. My situation is very complex. Yours is quite different. Thankfully enough, you see things very clearly, but it's not so easy for me. We always remember the bad things about that. I've been trying to remember all the things he did do for us.
I don't expect I do a lot for my kids. I don't expect them to pay me back at the other end. I'm sure we can get a full-time housekeeper. We can afford it.
He never agreed.
Is that or finding him a home? Cindy's folks like where they are. Also, we might as well just face it. His mind's going. Sooner or later, we have to think about Kyle's our attorney, perhaps committing him to an institution.
God, it's also ugly.
Yes, my gentle Jean, a lot of life is.
Now look, don't go trying to make me out so soft-hearted. I know life is ugly.
Yes, I think you know it. You live through a great deal of ugliness and you work like a Trojan to deny it, to not make it so. He kicked me out. He said he never wanted to see me again. He broke Mother's heart over that for years. He was mean, unloving. He beat the hell out of you when you were a kid. You hated and feared him all your adult life.
Still, he's my father. And a man. And what's happening to him appalls me as a man.
We have a practical problem here.
It's not as simple as all that.
To me, it is. I don't understand this mystical haze you're casting over it. He'll call you ungrateful, and you'll believe it. He laughs you out with his sarcasm, and that will kill this lovely, necessary image you have of yourself as a good son. Can't you see that?
What do you want us to do? You want us to, shall we get out a white piece of paper? Let it be known that we, Alice and Jean, have done all that we can to make this old man happy in his old age, without inconveniencing ourselves. Of course he wouldn't agree. So when he slips and falls, hits his head and lies there until he rots, it's not our fault. Is that it?
You insist on.
Haven't you learned on the couch that people do not always do what you want them to do? Sometimes it is we who have to make the adjustments.
The difference between that is that I accept this inevitable sadness of this world without an acute of personal guilt. You don't. I don't think anyone expects either of us to ruin our lives with an unreasonable old man.
It's not going to ruin my life.
It is.
A few weeks, a month.
Forever.
Listen, Alex, let's stop discussing this. I know what I'm going to do. And I may not be able to explain my reasons to you. But stay alive. I just know I can't do anything else. It may not be the same thing between a mother and a daughter, but the old man and me was something very deep. Wants to extend some kind of mercy to that old man. And I never had a father. I ran away from him. He ran away from me. Maybe it's about time we found each other.
I find that sentimental crap. I think all this rationalization is to make a total complicit, so you have to stay here. You hate the complicit, so you dress up to look nice.
Maybe that's not a rationalization. Maybe it's a callousness, a coldness, a selfishness. They dress up to make it smell nice.
What do you think you'll find?
I don't know.
You hope to find love. Can't you understand what he just said? What you're going to find? Don't you understand he's got to hate you? He might not think it in his head or feel it in his heart, but you are his enemy. The day you were born a boy, you were a threat to this man and his enemy.
That sounds like the textbook does.
He wants your balls, and he's had them. I'm sorry. I want to shock you. When has he ever regarded you as a man, an equal, a male? And when you're a Marine and that you did for him, because even back there you were looking for his love. You didn't want to be a Marine. Not Papa, would he love me? He did. No, not love. But he was proud and grateful because you gave him an extension of himself he could boast about with his phony set of values. When has he ever been proud about the thing you do, the things you value? When has he ever mentioned your teachings or your books except in scorn?
You don't have to sing. You don't have to sing. Oh, you don't seem to have felt the absence of a father. I feel it. I just don't want to let my father die a stranger to me.
You're looking for that isn't there, Gene. You're looking for a mother's love in a father. Mothers are soft and yielding. Fathers are hard and rough. And to teach me the way of the world, which is mean, which is rough, which is selfish and prejudiced.
You're entitled to that. After what he did to you.
I've always been grateful to him. He taught me a marvelous lesson and has made me able to face a lot. And there's been a lot to face. And I'm grateful as hell to him, because if I couldn't get the understanding and compassion from my father, who would I expect him from the world? Who in the world if not from my father? So I found it and didn't expect it. I found very little. I'm grateful to him. I'm grateful as hell to him.
I'll stay out of this. I'm out. But let's stop. That's ridiculous. Oh, shit. Sing.